Daddy, please help her. A veteran's choice that changed 2 lives forever. It was a crisp Tuesday afternoon in early February 2026 when Jake Sullivan took his 9-year-old daughter Emma to the Willow Creek Mall. The kind of day where sunlight filters through bare winter branches and laughter echoes from the food court. For Jake, a former Marine with quiet eyes and calloused hands, this was more than errands. It was precious time with Emma, the anchor of his world since his wife walked out 3 years ago. They were browsing a bookstore when Emma tugged his sleeve. "Daddy," she whispered, her voice trembling, "look over there." Jake followed her gaze. Near the mall entrance, a woman stood cornered by 3 men. Her posture was rigid, her knuckles white around her purse. One man leaned in too close, another blocked her path, and the third scanned the area like a lookout. Civilians hurried past, eyes down, pretending not to see. But Jake saw, and in that instant, 20 years of Marine training surged through him, not with violence, but with purpose. "Stay here, sweetheart," he said gently, then strode forward. He didn't shout, he didn't threaten, he simply stepped between the woman and the men, his presence like a wall. "Everything okay, ma'am?" he asked, voice calm but firm. The men exchanged glances. One muttered something under his breath, and within seconds they dispersed, cowards sensing real strength. The woman exhaled shakily, tears welling in her eyes. "Thank you," she said, voice thick with emotion. I didn't know what to do." Jake nodded. "You're safe now." Then something unexpected happened. The woman studied his face, her expression shifting from relief to disbelief. "Jake? Jake Sullivan?" He blinked. "Do I know you?" She smiled, a warm, familiar smile that unlocked a flood of memories. "Catherine Porter, your CO at Camp Lejeune when you saved my convoy in 14 when that IED went off." Jake's eyes widened. "Admiral Porter?" She laughed softly. "Just Catherine now, retired." Emma, curious and brave, ran over and wrapped her arms around her dad's leg. "Are you okay, Daddy?" Catherine's eyes softened as she looked at the little girl. "This is your daughter?" "Yes," Jake said, pride evident in his voice. "Emma." Over coffee at a nearby cafe, the 3 of them sat together. 2 lives once connected by duty, now reconnected by chance and courage. Jake shared his story, how he'd taken an honorable discharge to raise Emma alone after his wife left, saying she couldn't handle the silence of a man who carried war inside him. He became a security consultant, piecing together freelance gigs that let him be home for bedtime stories and school plays. Catherine listened intently. Then quietly, she revealed her own truth. "I never had children, gave everything to the Navy. Promotions, deployments, strategy boards. I climbed every ladder, but now that I'm retired, I look around and realize I built a brilliant career, but I forgot to build a life." There was no bitterness in her words, only a quiet longing. A week later, Catherine called Jake. She'd just launched a private security and crisis response firm, one rooted not just in tactics, but in humanity. "I need someone with integrity, with heart, someone who sees people, not just threats. Will you join me as Director of Ethical Security Protocols?" Jake hesitated only a moment. The salary was generous, the hours flexible. Most importantly, it meant stability for Emma and a chance to serve in a new way. He accepted. What neither of them expected was how deeply their partnership would transform them both. Jake brought frontline wisdom and moral clarity to Catherine's company. She, in turn, created a workplace culture that valued family, empathy, and second chances, something she'd never had the space to consider during her military years. Months later, over dinner at Jake's modest home, where Emma proudly served homemade spaghetti, Catherine made a confession. "When I met you that day, Jake, I'd just turned down a high-paying government contract. Too cold, too soulless. Watching you protect that stranger and then seeing how you love your daughter, it reminded me why I joined the service in the first place, to protect people, not just interests." Tears glistened in Jake's eyes. "You gave me more than a job, Catherine. You gave us hope." And Emma, ever wise beyond her years, added, "You're like the grandma we never knew we needed." Catherine reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "And you, sweetheart, reminded me that legacy isn't just in medals, it's in moments like this." That single act of kindness, stopping to help a woman in distress, rippled outward in ways no one could have predicted. It healed old wounds. It forged a new family. It birthed a company that now trains security teams worldwide, not just to react, but to care. In a world that often rewards indifference, Jake chose compassion. And in doing so, he didn't just change his life, he helped someone else find meaning in theirs. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more real, emotional stories of hope, courage, and human connection to millions around the globe. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Because kindness has no borders, and neither does the power of a single good choice. Remember, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop and help. Thanks for watching.